I think the biggest misconception is that it's very easy to make a song because it's like
Mm.
I think I think it's like to make like a memorable song. I think it's like hard because it's hard to know what a memorable song is. How do you like judge that? You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like now these days there's so much music and there's so much really good music, but there's so much like there's so much like music that's not too good. And it's like I did my fair share of that stuff in the past. So it's like I'm really trying to make memorable music now in the sense that people, you know, like it and it sounds different. So you know, anyway, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
No, everything you're saying sounds proper. Like, yo, I spend all of my time thinking about how to make a song people are gonna want to say the words to. I don't even know how you do it from a beat point of view. I got kind of lucky as a rapper. I just gotta go. Will somebody say this? Yes or no? It took me a very long time to have any judgment there, but I'm starting to figure out that part of it. And if you can say things with that people want to say, then you can actually communicate with your audience. But how do you do that as a beat maker? Fucked if I know. But then I watch these guitar motherfuckers. Like my boss is a guitar guy. He hears guitars the way I hear lyrics. You know, like so like through the music you can still talk to people, and I don't really know the answer to the question of how you would do it, but honestly, it's what do people respond to? Like a lot of people hate pop music, and it's confusing to me because that's what most people like, and they blame it on overexposure. But it's usually artists that cultivated fan bases that got picked up and pushed in this era. So we may not like young people music, but to be fair, we're at the age where we're not supposed to like young people music. But all of the music we like is still getting made in great abundance now, and so I just look at it like if you create shit that is like you have style. That's the one thing I remarked. Style is something people don't have. And if you can create style, you create something people want to emulate. And when you do that, you can really speak to
Thanks, I
people.
appreciate that. I try really hard to do that, and
Like I guess
you know
that's
what?
what
When
it
I
is. It's about having
yeah,
style with your shit and then unapologetically doing it. Like even with your mask, everything about this, like yo, Beatahoe as a name, like you're a brand, you're a whole character. You should make a fucking comic book about yourself.
you know what you were talking about earlier about the songs and like me, just so everyone that listens and yourself, just so you know, I never interfere with like what rappers write and like stuff like that. That's like alien shit to me. Like I don't give a fuck about that. Like I know the people I work with are very good for me, so I'm set with that. You know, unless he sends me like something really whack, I might tell him like, "Yo, bro, you might maybe you should try this again." But I mean, I never get too like picky. Me, it's all about the beat. You know, it's like I'll be like, "Yo, like you do a little like 8 bar hook. Maybe I should add something on top of that to make it like separate from the verse. You know, stuff like that. You know."
Right.
Maybe we should add more claps here because like the drums starting to sound like really stale, you know, stuff like that, you know, always stuff like that. Because when I send beats, it's like I send skeletons, and that I like to build them as we're doing it, you know. But a
Yeah.
lot of people don't get that, so it's like it's sometimes you gotta like it's just a weird process when you're two people because it's like you don't necessarily like the guy you're working with, so it's like you know
Nah, I
it's a
totally hear
weird
that a
thing.
lot. I've always had this like experience where I find final products, like, because I don't like a lot of people. And actually, I should say I used to not like a lot of people, but frankly, I'm kind of enjoying socializing these days, so I guess I like people now. But like, I didn't like people for the better part of my adult life, and that had me in, yo, it's transactional. Like, that beat's fire, let me get it. And then I was just always like, whatever the beat is in its current form, it's a challenge now, and I'll write to it. I don't actually care about the whatever it is. I'll find the structure. Like, it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out and then roll it with it. So I never did the version where the song got produced in like that fashion that you're describing, but I always wanted to because it looks like how all the cool rappers used to do it back in the day. Like if there was anything from the classic days I'm envious of, it's that shit where you would have like a fucking RZA in a room with the rapper in the basement live producing like that shit. Like I've never done it. That I'm jealous of the old days. But like yeah, I think people don't know how to play nice with each other and they don't understand it because it's so transactional now. You just fucking cop the beat, cop the lease, cop the this. And the one time I did experience that shit though was when I was in a band for a quick minute and I was playing my little bass guitar and shit. And now it's four dudes in a room and like we wrote the song. I had to write the lyrics and shit to it. I did that one time with the band and it was like yo, you're one guy in a room with four fucking people, and y'all gotta use your relative skills to create a song out of literally nothing, because it's not like rap in that way, I guess. And so, yeah, I kind of get what you mean, but you're like playing it like a band. That's fucking actually really cool to me. All that to say.
Yeah, like I like to get like because like I think I like when I started making music, like I made so many wacky beats, man. Like you know like the like stuff that I hear and it makes me cringe, you know. It's like like how did I release this or how was I it was my own fault. I'm not even gonna like say anything bad about the artist I was with. It's my own fault, my own production. So it's like that. It's like for me now, it's like I feel like if I do something it's like 1,000,000,000% or nothing. You know, it's like why you know if it's gonna if the energy is wrong, just don't release it. That was like a really big part for me too to understand. Like
Mm.
you gotta rate songs. You gotta like build a bunch of songs. And if there's some that you don't like, just erase them. You know, it's like who cares? You know, it's like you gotta really make something that's gonna like be magic. You know.
Yeah, I like that a
I
lot.
love the
You're just
I love pop music too. I really like pop music. Like I listen to like old pop music and like the drums are crazy, man. Like the old Backstreet Boys and
oh
stuff like
my
that. The drums,
god, they're like next level with all their timing
the,
and fucking. The
the
drums are piercingly pop
oh man, and
loud.
the drums are hard. If you listen to the drums, it's like hard, like sound, like snares, yeah.
Hot shit.
And the drums always switch up. I don't know if you noticed, like they'll have like gaps, bridges, extra kicks, extra snare, like crazy program. Like Michael Jackson too. Like you hear like the drums in the back like crazy drums, you know. It's like I always try to incorporate that when I make beats. 'Cause I always try to like do my best to make it sound and I like not the mix, but I mean like the ideas, you know, just like I soak all that shit in, you know.
Yo, my favorite beats in the world are beats where they just don't repeat much in every four bars. Like, yeah, there's constants in it. Verses feel like verses, but if I always told my producers, well, the one guy I worked with that made beats, only thing I really care about is you make it change a lot. Because if you make it change a lot, I'll change a lot, and I'll bounce off of that, and I'll be like more stimulated in that way. Um, ABBA was the illest track to sample. Comes from Davey, man. That's probably ill. ABBA probably has really hard beats if I'm really thinking about it.